Hi everyone, my name is Yongjun and let me start my presentation of exploratory essay. My initial research question is, what's the influence of early English education? I chose this topic because of my personal experience. I have an 8-year-old cousin. When I visited her home, I saw she was taking a private English education. It made me remind my elementary school days. When I was 8, I didn't take any private education and my friends were too. At the moment, I had a question. Is the early language education really helpful for children? So I decided to research about the influence of early English education. Here is the relevance between English education and us. First, all we are participants of English education. Second, all of us are going to marry and have children. And third, English education is everyone's matter these days. So my first source is Disadvantage to Children Learning a Foreign Language from Global Post by Damon Beria, who is a psychologist and bilingual in English and Chinese. He points out the disadvantages of early language education. First is slow language acquisition. He said that when children learn a language, they can acquire about 20 new words in a month. But if they learn two languages simultaneously, they can acquire only about 10 words in a month. So they can learn less vocabulary than monolinguals. And the second disadvantage is cultural confusion. When children learn foreign language, they can feel cultural confusion because their identity and personality are not formed completely. After I read this article, I agreed with the opinion that children may feel cultural confusion while they learn foreign language. But I adopted that slow language acquisition can be a matter when they grow up. So I researched about language acquisition. So my second source is Children Should Start Learning Languages at Age 3 from The Telegraph, written by Catherine Ford, who is a psychologist and has an experience in education counseling. She states about advantages of early language education in language acquisition. She said that children can learn a language in a play-like way when they learn a language in young age. So, they don't feel any fear or embarrassment and can learn language naturally. And she also said that early language education can strengthen their brain. She states that brain can be strengthened like any other muscles by exercising. The children who learn foreign language showed higher score than who don't learn in memorizing and even math and verbal tests. After reading this article, my curiosity was solved. Slow language acquisition isn't a matter after time goes on. But I got a curiosity about language confusion caused by different grammar and word choice. So my third source is what are the advantages and disadvantages of early bilingualism? Does the relationship between the two languages matter? From Quora, written by Kenji Rikitake, who became bilingual in Japanese and English in early age. He writes about language confusion caused by different grammar between the two languages and word choice. He narrates his personal experience. When he writes or speaks, he experienced grammar confusion. In Japanese, there are not singular plural forms, articles, or tense. So he has to reread his text and revise it several times. And he also says that he feels confusion in word choice because there are some words used in a certain language more frequently. He gives an example. He learned words about computer in English first. So when he speaks about that topic, English words related to computer first come up his brain, even though he is speaking in Japanese. So he states that children who learn foreign language can feel language confusion. After I read this article, I thought that there is a possibility of language confusion. And I have another curiosity about educational and economic benefits of early language education. So, my last source is Advantages of Learning a Foreign Language at an Early Age, from Today's German, written by Turgai Dinke. He tells advantages of early language education. He says that children can have native-like pronunciation when they learn foreign language in young age. After they grow up, they cannot pronounce like natives. And he also says that they can be advantageous in global competition. In globalized world, bilinguals can have an advantage in global competition, like admission competition. And it can be led to economic benefit in the future. I agreed with his opinion that children who learn foreign language can have an advantage in the future. But I wonder that pronunciation is a necessary factor of English competence. For example, Ban Ki-moon, who is the Secretary General of the UN, doesn't have a native-like pronunciation. But every people say that he is good at English, and his English is easy to understand. So, I will think more about it. After I finished with my research, I narrowed down my question. Should Korean children learn English at early age? And I will research more about it. Thank you.